Ladies and gentlemen, the patch is finally here. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero 2 is releasing tomorrow. Let's get it. We're going to go over the patch notes now and give our opinions on the changes that they've made. So first, we got the game mode adjustment. Battle, all stages are now available offline in player 1 versus player 2 battles. This should have been in the game from the beginning. What is this? This absolutely should have been in the game from the beginning, but whatever. Functionality adjustments. Battle setup. A function allowing you to change a character's display method has been added. We will take a look back at this. The My Sets function has been added for team members. So I'm assuming you can create your own custom sets of teams to preload, so that'll be interesting. Ranked match and player match. You can now skip the intro battle animations. Requires both players to put. Okay, finally. So they do allow you to do this in like training mode and singles battles and stuff, but again, it has to be against a CPU. You can skip it. Whereas online you could not. So this is huge. Love this change for sure. Then we have player match. You can now set your team to hidden or revealed to your opponent when editing your team. So I guess you can show off in real time what your team is going to be to your opponent. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm assuming this relates only to like custom battles and not online DP. Then we have custom battle mode. Text can now be sorted alphabetically. Yippee. I haven't really done anything with custom battle, but I'm sure that's a quality of life improvement. Options. You can now set the battle camera distance to be closer. Okay, we're going to have to play around with this one. That one's a really interesting change. Battle system adjustments. High speed dragon dash. New action. The quick movement action high speed dragon dash, where you can quickly move toward your opponent, has been added. Perform with R2 and holding X or RT and A. Okay, so they added a new action altogether. Smash attack. You will no longer be stunned when being hit by a rush ki blast when charging a smash attack. When charging a smash attack during a rush attack, charge time reduction based on hit count has been increased. Based on hit, so the charge time is increased if you're trying to do it mid combo. That's interesting. So that you can't reset combos, you can't stop mid combo and then charge up a perfect smash and get another like knockback or so. So that is. One interesting note too I just thought about with the smash attack, I believe this is a direct nerf to our boy Blimey Limey. Because when charging a smash attack during a rush attack, charge time reduction on hit count has been increased. So I don't know. Blimey, you'll have to be careful. The tech that he showcased in our one stream there, where you're able to reset combos with mixing in a like just a millisecond charged rush attack or smash attack in the middle of a combo, that might be nerfed. That'll be really interesting. Then we have Rush Ki Blast. The time between being able to fire the next Rush Ki Blast after firing the maximum consecutive amount at once, different for each character, has been increased. All right, so hopefully this change is what I'm thinking it is, and I'm sure we're all thinking the same thing, where if a Broly or any form of Vegeta could go into instant sparking, they would come up and start Ki Blast spamming you. And if they got you in the deflect animation, then they would wrap around to your back and then start spamming the Ki Blast until they get the hard knockdown. So I believe, depending on different for each character, of course, it will actually put a gap for every character. Because as I said, the time between being able to fire the next one after the maximum has been increased. So there will be a gap somewhere in there. I don't think Broly will be such a menace with that anymore. Probably all the Vegetas are nerfed with that as well, but we'll see. That one's an interesting one. Rushed Ki Blast deflection. You can now move while deflecting Rush Ki Blasts. Okay, yeah, because sometimes you would get locked in place. So that's nice. Hopefully this fixes it to where you can continuously move. Steps. You will now no longer be able to be hit by certain attacks immediately after performing a step. Rush Ki Blast and Smash Ki Blast can now also be evaded. This is super nice because usually if people would smash Ki Blast or just like spam Ki Blast, you couldn't step it. You couldn't do, like, you would have to hold block or deflect, and that was really about it. Or side dashing. but sidestepping would not do anything. So this is really good to see that it is instead rewarding players for sidestepping and mixing that in, trying to figure out when to use that rather than blocking or countering, all that good stuff. The Z-Burst Dash, the amount of ki consumed when activating it has been increased. Okay, this is nice, so that people have to utilize more resources to constantly go in and in and in, and it'll drain faster so that they can't just continuously spam that. And it's like, say spam lightly, because Z-Burst Dash, like, it's a mechanic of getting the hands delivered. Okay, so it's not really an abusive mechanic. It's just, okay, I want to go hit this guy now. Burst Smash, ki will no longer be consumed when activating it and will instead consume an amount based on the distance traveled. The Burst Smash. Okay, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Burst Smash is whenever you get somebody in a hard knockback, and instead of vanishing or doing the lightning strike where you vanish on top of them and push them down, you charge forward. So I think now you lose ki as you're flying toward them. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. Then we have Blast. Damage has been increased when using a boost. We love the blast damage increase. Okay, so the buffs like Turles's Fruit of the Tree of Might, or just any character that has an ability that boosts quote-unquote blast damage, which is your supers, it increases that buff. So that is huge. It felt like those only gave like an extra 1,000 damage or so. Like the ratio was very minuscule. So to see that get boosted is very nice. Z-Search. Z-Search will no longer lose track of your opponent when characters are swapped. That is big. You will now quickly regain sight of your opponent if they enter your line of sight from the front when Z-Search is not locked onto them. We are definitely going to play around with this mechanic because the lock-on features sucked. They sucked so bad. So hopefully this fixes them. Next up, we have Z countering. So Z counter, guys, if you aren't aware, it is just the general vanishing. So the vanishing wars have been changed. The input window has been shortened, so it is harder to land. Z counter will become more difficult to perform if performed consecutively. So this is throwing long vanishing wars completely out the window. We're going to see how much harder it gets in Vanish Wars. We'll lab that a little bit. Then we have ki consumed has been increased when successfully performing a Z counter. So that, again, if the Vanish Wars do happen, they are much shorter. Skill count increase speed has been reduced when successfully performing Z counter. So in those wars, you would get a lot of skill gauge as they went on. This has been reduced. You're not going to get as much. It's not going to be as rewarding for vanishing each other over and over and over. So again, we'll lab that and see what the timing change feels like. Revenge counter. Skill count consumed when using Perception against Revenge Counter has been reduced from 2 to 1. This is a fantastic change in my opinion because you get rewarded now for catching someone who might be spamming Revenge Counter, or you catch someone for properly countering that one little use they try and slip into an entire match. It costs 2, so really at the beginning, Revenge Counter was like, okay, I know you have an instant sparking, or I know you have an instant transmission. I have 2 skill gauge, you have 3. I'm going to go ahead and Revenge Counter. If you block it, great. There goes 2 of your skill gauge. If you don't, I get a little bit of damage and I get out of my combo. Having this change makes it to where you get more rewarded rather than just like, man, you get a little extra damage. Here you go. So I love this change with Revenge Counter. It is absolutely going to make revenge countering, or the perceptioning against revenge counters, much more worth it. Rush attacks during sparking mode. Gradual damage reduction of consecutive hits has been increased. Okay, so this is whenever you're in sparking and you fly up on someone and you just start going ham on them, giving them the hand, smacking them back and forth. There is a gradual damage reduction as the combo goes on, because as we all know, the rush attacks in this combo can be very long, and you can like pretty much string all 4 like resets you have together until they get put in the hard knockback. So it just gradually reduces the damage over time. So it's just the damage fall off. Standard fighting game mechanics that have always been around, and now they're just adding it into one more aspect of Sparking Zero. Combos. The final attack of aerial combo and aerial slash combos will no longer be interrupted by guarding. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the one where you do the knock-up. So if you do the rising strike and then you try to punch once and then knock somebody away with like a far knockback button, they can no longer guard it. It's now a perfect combo. That is really nice. That is very nice. Character switch. Health recovery rate of standby characters has been reduced. Okay, this is huge. This is really just chipping away at the ice block, though. This is for DP battles, obviously, specifically, where the game is all about stall. It's about keeping your 5 characters as healthy as possible. We'll see how much it's been reduced by and the feeling of it in our future videos. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously good change overall, but there's still a whole lot they need to change with DP battles. Z-Burst Dash on giant characters. The tackle done by giant characters during Z-Burst Dash is now guardable, putting giants in the dirt. We love this. No, people can't gain free points by going into sparking mode and then constantly Z-Burst dashing. That should have never been a thing. So thank God they implemented this. We love that. Now, we're going to keep the skill adjustments right where they are because these are all going to be a surprise. Skills that cause instant sparking mode has been increased. Okay, so anybody that has an instant sparking, the skill count has been increased by 1. So Majin Vegeta, Future Gohan, Trunks, everybody. Everybody is now like 4 skill gauge instead of 3. Perfectly understandable. Definitely needed for sure. Now we have skills that increase stats in general. Skill count consumed has been decreased. Buffs are cheaper. Fruit of the Tree of Might is cheaper. We love this. Turles is up. Turles players rise. After image strike. Effect duration has been reduced to 10 seconds and will be removed if your opponent uses perception while you are under the effect. That is insanely fantastic. So the duration is reduced by 5 seconds, and if you perception them, which was the main counter anyway, you can see in any of my previous videos, we would just have to hold block and perception, and then they would just vanish. If you perception the opponent, it immediately ends the effect. That is awesome. Any of the after image strike spammers that have made it to Z rank are dropping down. Absolutely, 100%. We love this change. Thank the Lord. False Courage. Skill count consumed has been increased from 1 to 2. Okay, this is to get rid of the spammers on androids, and Dodoria I will be showcasing in today's video at 1:30. Dodoria also has it, and False Courage is very strong, so to have that as 1 skill gauge was insane. So absolutely a necessary change here. Totally agree. We love this. Technique. All I need is 5 seconds. They're giving this a buff. Skill count consumed has been increased from 3. Skill count has been increased from 3 to 2. Okay, decreased. What are you doing, patch notes guy? Decreased from 3 to 2. And status increase upon activation has been increased. Okay, so they decreased the count to 2 skill gauge, and they increased how much it buffs him by. That's really cool. We love that. It obviously isn't going to buff the duration because it says the duration in the name, 5 seconds. But we do love the changes otherwise. It's cheaper and it's more rewarding so that people will use it more. Nobody ever used that move unless it was for like one video or whatnot. Stardust Barrier. So this is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, or not Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan Blue God Gogeta's deflected barrier. You can now activate it while receiving melee attacks from the front. So this can now be used as a get off me tool. That's really interesting. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments if you've seen a whole lot of Stardust Barrier used online. It's really mainly meant for deflecting like supers and ki blasts and ultimates. It's a fantastic skill, but I don't know if people playing Gogeta were like, yes, we need this change. We need it. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. Then we have blast adjustments. Long-ranged blasts and ultimate blasts. So this is regarding supers. Speed has been reduced. It seems like it's just overall on everything. Long-range blasts and ultimate blasts. Interesting. So it's increasing people's ability to vanish, I guess. It gives them more time to see it coming and time the button press. Super Vegito Final Kamehameha, ki consumed and damaged has been increased. Interesting. Okay, so I'm assuming this is a standard super Final Kamehameha on Super Vegito. It increases how much it costs, but it also increases the damage. Just a little balance there. Okay. Goku Mini Quick Rush. Trajectory can now be changed while rushing. Okay, Goku Mini only comes with melee rush supers, so to see one of them become one that you can change the trajectory of is nice for sure. Mr. Satan's Present Bomb. Increased ending lag after activation, so people, they can still spam this, but we can punish easier. So now he's going to be stuck in an animation at the end of it if he misses it, and then you have more time to get on top of him, all that good stuff. So that's huge. Character adjustments. Android 19 and Dr. Gero. Health and key amount absorbed on a successful throw has been adjusted. We will have to look at this. It doesn't say reduced. It says adjusted. So I don't know. Maybe they increased one and decreased the other. That's what I'm thinking. Dragon Dash, Quick Ascend, and Quick Descend now consume ki. This, again, something should have always been... This should have always been in the game. Your first tournament looked like a clown fiesta. Okay, people laughed at you. You had to move away from the gameplay and go only to the commentators because of how boring it was and how much the players were showing off the abusable mechanics. So, yeah, this should have been in the game. Cell Second Form, you can now escape the throw. So you can now tech Cell Second Form's throw? That's really interesting. I guess it's stopping people from like just constantly spamming sweep and into the throw to heal and get ki. Then we have Cooler. Amount of health restored upon transforming has been increased. Cooler players rise. Cooler has become better. We love this slightly. Giant characters. Increase the time it takes to charge up a smash attack and reduces its power. Huge. We love this so that we stop getting Dr. Wheelos that constantly charged spam charged attacks. Granted, it was avoidable. All you had to do was dash to the side. Even if they like hit you once or twice in a combo and then tried to go for it, you still had time to dash to the side. So there were counters, but we love this change. Giants were way too strong. A lot of things that should not have been what they had, but they're fixing it, so we love it. Great Ape, Vegeta, and Dr. Wheelo. Maximum health has been reduced. Then we have improved performance and ease of use. Okay. Application of this application required for online play. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, remember, this patch drops tomorrow, December 12th, from 9 to 11 CET, PST. So we will be looking out for this update. We will definitely be taking a look at these changes in the lab and training. We will post another video with like actual examples of the changes that they've made here. So we love this. Hope to see you guys in the next video, and I hope you join the one later today.